What's up YouTube? I'm bringing you my 11th Wi-Fi battle video, and this is special because it's a double match, and there's me clicking the wrong button. So it's against Lucio from the Games Facts forums, and I start out with Angel and Babero. Babero uses Protect, Angel uses Tailwind, because now I know I'm faster than them. He uses Stone Edge on Angel, and it kills him, which was bad, because I was going to swagger up. But it's all good, and he uses Trick Room, and I'm like, oh my god. And then I send out Plunger, the Credilli, and he's just a beast. So he doesn't get killed there. Neither does the Babero, but they're both hurt pretty bad. And then Bronzong uses Gyro Ball, and Plunger uses Burial, and Babero uses Last Resort because he only knows Protect and Last Resort. And that was supposed to do a lot more because Togekiss was supposed to swagger him up. And you'll see next time. And so the only thing he hits there with the Earthquake is Plunger. And since he has a barrier, it does not do very much. Bronzong uses Gyro Ball against him, which it doesn't do very much because of the barrier. And then he holds up another barrier. And then the Tailwind patters out, so I'm no longer like insanely fast. And this time it hits both of us, and I'm pretty sure it kills my Babero. Yeah, it does. But that was part of the plan. And he lives through that pretty easy. I use Recover, because I'm like, I know they're not going to kill me, so I might as well regain some of my health, and I do. I gain a lot of it. And then I send out Hippie, the Hippo, because I want to start at the Sandstorm, because then probably be a little bit harder to hit. But it doesn't matter, because he hits us both with an Earthquake, and it doesn't do as much as I thought. But then he puts my Hippie to sleep, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so annoying. And then Toxic misses, so I'm like, why? But I use Leftovers. We all use Leftovers. There's a whole bunch of Leftovers. And then the Twisted Dimensions return to normal, and I send out King Kong. He withdraws where I fear to send out Machamp. And I use Gastro Acid, so now Traunt is no longer a factor, so I can move every single turn, which is good because he has like a 500 plus attack, which is insane. And you're going to see how good that is in a minute. So we all get hurt by the Sandstorm, we all use Leftovers, whatever. He uses Gyro Ball. I don't know why, he sees it's not doing very much. And then I use Gastro Acid on Machamp because I don't want him to have no guard, because I want his fighting moves to be able to miss or else I'm dead. And then King Kong uses Return, and it does all that, even though it wasn't super effective. And I don't think King Kong loves me very much. Apparently I'm a bad trainer, just because I beat my Pokemon when they do something wrong. And I really think this kid is stupid because he sees that's not hurting, and then I'm like, okay, now if he tries to use Earthquake, he's going to get hit too. And I'm like, ha, Earthquake, motherfucker. And I almost killed the Bronzong. It barely hurts Plunger at all, and I killed him a Machamp. Gastro Acid is the best move in the entire game in double battles, because he can totally get rid of a ability, so no one can use the Fly type, whatever. And then he uses Mega Horn, and that's supposed to do a lot, but it doesn't do any at all. And I'm like, oh god, he exploded. And he killed the Rhyperior, and my Plunger lives through it because he's just a beast with 2 barriers up. And so really the only thing Bronzong did was kill him and his friend. And Plunger uses Recover, so now he's back up to normal. And then King Kong uses Earthquake, which only hits Plunger. So I guess that was also a waste, but whatever. It's the thought that counts, right? So then he sends out Rampardos, and I'm like, he has Mold Breaker, so I don't really need to worry about that anymore. And then I poison Ursaring, because I'm like, he's going to be a bigger threat than the other thing. And I'm like, since he has Mold Breaker, I don't need to use Gastro Acid. Thank you, Rampardos. And then he does that, which doesn't do anything and a half. And then the Sandstorm, Leftovers, Toxic, all that boring stuff. Twisted Dimensions return to normal, and then I send out Regipone, and thanks to Mold Breaker, I don't have to worry about Slow Start anymore. So I just destroy both of them, because Regipone has like 500 some attack as well. I think his name's Regigigas. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to try. And then Ursaring uses Close Combat. That's really all it's good for, and it does almost kill me, but I'm just too slick, so it doesn't kill me. Plunger uses Recover. Like, they can kill whatever, except for Plunger. He is just freaking unkillable. He, like, never dies. And I'm like, oh my god, the Sandstorm's gonna kill me. Just kidding, I'm still alive, punk. And then Ursaring gets almost killed by poison. I'm like, wait, I'm faster than both of them. I know my Plunger can live through. I'm gonna get a double kill right here. Earthquake! And I get the critical, which was really the most worthless thing ever. But I end up killing both of his Pokemon, and Plunger takes an amazing, like, 8 HP. And then just to waste time, I go ahead and use Gastro Acid just because I want to be mean. So now I'm, like, barely hanging on with Regipone. So, like, as soon as someone hits him, he's dead. But he sends out Vaporeon. I use Return. And that gives him a pretty good amount. But then he kills Regipone. And I'm like, aw, man. And I use Toxic, and it misses. So then I'm pretty sure I send out my last Pokemon, which was Hippo. And I know there's still 2 minutes left in the video. And it's just stally as fuck. Because it's just him using Surf, almost killing my Hippo. Barely affecting that. And then I finally give him the STD. Because I'm cool like that. And it gets hurt. And it's hurt by the Sandstorm. So that cancels out its leftovers and all that good stuff. Then he's hurt by his STD, so it hurts him even more. And then Plunger's just like, yeah, I'm cool like that. So yeah, Plunger has no attack moves, so that's why the end of the video is a minute away. Even though there's nothing much else. So Plunger uses Recover, Vaporeon, use Surf, almost killed my Hippopotamus, but I'm just cool like that. So I barely have any HP, so I'm like, oh my god, Hippo, wake the fuck up. We're about to play some hungry hippos up in here, and he's like, shut the fuck up, I'm sleepy. And he stays asleep and gets killed, and I'm like, fuck, man. Because I was like, oh my god. And then I used Barrier again, so, like, nothing's gonna even touch that anymore. Like, I think he gets to use Surf a couple more times, and it barely does any damage at all. There's the poison almost killing him. Yeah, here's him using Wish. And it doesn't really matter because I would have taken a whole nother turn. And I'm like, the poison's going to kill him by then. Sandstorm almost kills him, doesn't, but the poison does. Because I'm just cool like that. So remember to comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos.